Hello and welcome to the second All Civilisations 1 vs 1 AI tournament in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I am your host Wizwag and today we are going to cover day 5 of the group stage. The matches today will decide who will make it into the round of 16 of the groups A through D. But to give you a short introduction to what this is all about, this is a tournament played exclusively by the in-game AI in AoE 2, featuring all but the few newest civilizations in the game. The first tournament was held back in December of 2020, in which the Byzantines were crowned as the winners over 100 exciting matches. Now with a new format and ramped up production quality, it's time for the second wave of AI battles. So let's take a quick look at the current standings of today's matches or groups. Let me switch the scene. There you go. So, got 4 groups. Today is the last round of the group stage. We got two rounds already over. Now it's the third and final round, which decides all. You got in Group A the Lithuanians, Malay, Celts and Malians, and they all got 1 win on the board, so it's all open today. So the next matches will be very decisive, very important for the civilizations to get out of their group. Then we got Group B, which looks a little bit different. Portuguese and Franks clearly in the lead, both have 2 wins. Burmese and Spanish lagging behind. I'm not sure if there's any way to come back from that, but let's see how it plays out. And we got Group C, pretty balanced. Teutons with 2 wins, and the Slavs as well as the Saracens got 1 win on the board. The Huns sadly 2 losses. Not sure if they can make it out. Only 2 civilizations, only the top 2 of each group will make it into the round of 16, so keep that in mind. And lastly for today we got Group D. The Incas comfortably in first place with 2 wins. Burgundians and Koreans both with 1 win, and the Ethiopians also 2 losses. Probably not enough to make it out of their group. But yeah, it's the standings. Depending, as usual, we got 8 matches. But if there are any important tiebreakers, we have to play them out. Probably. So let's see what the day has in store for us. Let's take a quick look at the schedule. So the first match will be in Group A, the Malians versus Malay. And after that we got the Celts versus Lithuanians. And in Group B, we got the Spanish versus Burmese and the Franks versus Portuguese. And then Group C. Got the Huns versus the Teutons, Saracens versus Slavs, and Group D finally, Ethiopians versus Burgundians, and Koreans versus Incas. That's the minimum 8 matches, so let's see if we need any more. So without further ado, let's set up our first game and get right into it. Right, we are in the lobby. So the first game of today, Malians versus Malay of Group A, the deciding round of the group stage. Let's get going. Right, we are in game. Let's see, we got on the left side, got in red the Malians, and on the right side we got in cyan the Malay. Let's take a look at the map layout. Always important, we got a few hills, a few tree lines. Other than that, a pretty open field. Relic in the middle. Let's see how they open up and place their castle. The Malay with the faster castle age and a very aggressive opening. Will this work out? They turn back and probably will cancel the building. Or no, they try to come back. They don't know what to do. Let's take a look. The Malians on the top corner of the map are building their castle. It's going fast, almost up, and yeah, this was a futile attempt. Probably would have been better to place the castle uphill. That would have been pretty strong position. But it's not over yet. Not too much fighting going on for now. A few skirmisher versus crossbowmen. And they still haven't cancelled. That's weird. And the Malians already with the rams. Now comes the first push. Very good mangonel shot and another good one. Expertly dodged. And the Malians get a push going. Got a Gibetto. And already taking out a few structures. Malay starting to struggle quite a bit here. could be a fast game. Let's see if they can hold out. Push them back. They're missing a few farms in the front of the base. So that's hurting a little bit. Got another beach workshop. More and more units are trickling in. Nothing too crazy for now though. Malay seem to barely hang in there. Can they turn it around? But now, quite a few units coming with 3 rams. It could be a huge mangonel shot. Nope. Got taken out before it could do anything. Now it's getting pretty quiet over here. There's already pikemen in the base harassing villages. There's a building down. And it's looking good for the Malians. Malay are still holding on. Just on a tiny thread. But now there's even more units coming. The Malians want to end this game. Now the whole front basically unused. Food production stopped completely almost. But they can't build any more new units mostly. Now the siege comes too. And this surely gonna be the final push. They're onto the town center. And that first game of today. Congratulations to the Malians. Yeah. Pretty big slope at the end. Take a look at other statistics. Yeah, GG. Pretty solid game. Pretty much a mistake on the Malay's part with their castle. The aggressive push didn't work out. So that cost them the game. As usual, I have to update the score into 0 for the Malians. here. Right. The next game is gonna be Celts versus Lithuanians. See you soon in the lobby. Right. So, the final game of Group A in the group stage, Celts versus Lithuanians. Let's start. Alright, we got interesting spawns. Got in red on the bottom left corner the Celts, and blue or cyan on the top left corner or side the Lithuanians. They're very close together. So it's gonna be interesting how they approach the situation. So far no aggression, but can change at any moment. Got the exact same castle age timing. And now the castle placements. That's pretty out there for the Lithuanians. In the open and now getting attacked by line. Took it out, no problem. But now they're gonna be behind in building time. Celts already at 80%. But Lithuanians not too far behind. Or oh, that's okay. The castle didn't go for the villagers building. That could have been a disaster. Okay, they got it up. There's already fighting over here in between all these houses. No clear advantage so far for any civ. There's a ram joining, getting one hit in, and now going for the castle. But oh no, the poor zebra got hit from the mangonel shot too. Rip. Mangonel getting value, getting quite a few good shots in. Still healthy. But now taken out by the ram. Seems like the Celts are getting pushed back. But they got their castle helping out. Those castles are just shooting at each other. Not much going on there. Celts lost one archery range. Or was it the barracks? I don't remember. But they lost military production, that's for sure. But now, pushing him with 4 mangonels. That's a messy fight in between all these buildings. The castle of the Celts got less HP, but still healthy enough for both. And now the Celts got some footing. They're finally in the blue half of the map for the first time, it seems. There's a ram fight. And got taken out, and another one. And the repair. Going head to head, and now the Lithuanians with the lead, it seems. Going back and forth. Celts have a points lead, but their castle is almost at half HP, while the castle of the Lithuanians still healthy. Can they rebuild some of their infrastructure? Got a house. Another barracks in the building. See what's going on here. Meeting up to chop wood. And the castle is already burning. There are quite a few villages in there, garrisoned. So they could be used elsewhere. Weakening their economy. And it's still in a massive fight. On multiple fronts. The castle is getting dangerously low on HP. They should try to repair that. But they also need resources to build units to end of the Lithuanians' push. It's a never-ending fight up here. In a very close game. But it's also a very important one. Could be decided here who goes on into the round of 16. So you need to give it all. Now the castle is getting lower and lower. Only around 900 HP. They need to push out now. They made some space. Castle down to almost 600 HP. And it's still pretty even. But it feels like the Lithuanians have the upper hand. Just by a tiny margin though. And this fight has been going on for 10 minutes or more. We're already 21 minutes in game. And both are still looking healthy. And now 100 HP in the castle. It's gonna fall soon. Will this change anything? Will this weaken their defenses? Can the Lithuanians push out? The castle has fallen. Now what do the Celts do now? No one tried to go into the Imperial Age. Oh, right when I said it, there's the advancement. But the troops are building up for the Lithuanians. Will this be too late? Normally, Imperial Age gives you a very strong position as long as the other civilization is still in the Castle Age. Now we got the upgrade. Can the Celts now seize their chance? We don't know if the Lithuanians are advancing too. But now with the upcoming unit upgrades, it should be good to push out. Now you see the Lithuanians are retreating. It was very risky, this move from the Celts, but it could turn out positively for them. They were getting pushed in pretty hard by the Lithuanians, and they almost lost the battle. This timing. Now getting quite a few good Malay shots in there to decimate the front line, the Celts. It's still even. Only 1k points apart. And now even the villagers are fighting. I'm still not sure who wins this game. Going back and forth. And there's fighting all over the place. It has not let up at all. Approaching 30 minutes in game time. Now they are onto the villages. We got some road raiders in the mix. Look at that, how close they are. The castle still popped off. Look at that. Look at that. They're behind enemy lines, chopping up wood. It seems like the Celts finally make their push. They got scorpions, road raiders, enough crash units to make their final push for the win. The Celts are semi-finalists of the first tournament. So that's not really that surprising they win out here, but it was a very close game up until now. Now taking out the castle. If this is gone, all of these units will... Look at that, even now they don't have much left. There's this one villager trying to farm. There you go. This is fine. Sorry for the lag. Try to make a screenshot. It's funny looking. And now the castle has fallen. Now comes the final push and almost missed it. Jesus. The Celts won their game. That could have been a deciding game. It went back and forth, back and forth. Even then, look at that. That timing. They almost lost it. So going for the Imperial Age probably won their game. Because it started to slip away. But 35 minutes. Congratulations, the Celts. Go back to the lobby. Update the score and then take a look at our first group. Let's update this one real quick. Celts 1. And now we have the first two civilizations going to advance to the round of 16 in Group A. We got the Malians and Celts. So today's winners moved on. So yeah, those matches were deciding matches. Because everyone got a win before that. See it there, set to advance. Malians and Celts. But yeah, got our first group. Set and done. So let's set up for Group B. Now, the next set of matches got the first one, Spanish versus Burmese, in Group B of the deciding round of the group stage. Let's start the game. Alright. And again, we got almost the same spawns. That happens not too often. But we got in red this Spanish on the top left corner. Almost top. And down in the bottom left, we got the Burmese. Take a look at the map. Open space in the middle, few hills on the right side, forests on the left. Will this be another close game like the one before? See how it turns out. We got a pretty defensive castle, but up on a hill. And that one, I'm not sure if that counts. That could count as uphill. That's good castle placement of both. But the Spanish got a watchtower together with their castle. A little bit more defense. We got already a few knights against poor crossbowmen. Castle's already done, but this Burmese got theirs too.
See?
Now what's this? Oh, you wanted to mine the stone. That's not a good idea. Just glitching out. Funny little dude. What is this? What is this stable? That's the wrong color. But it's quiet for now. Remember in the last game there was fighting the whole game. One continuous battle. But a ram taking on the castle all alone. Now retreating. And get on repair. Look at this. Full HP. Dodging the castle shots. Now taking out this outlier of the stable. Now we got Urumbay's. But nothing else really, so I'm not sure if that investment paid out. But we got 4 rams going for the castle. Can they burst it down? One is already down. But the castle is approaching half HP. Now are they retreating? What are they doing? Repositioning. Now going for the tower. Okay. A little bit confusing. This decision making. And now look at that. How many skirms they have. And even the Burmese castle is burning. They don't have any troops to fight back. I'm not sure why it's quiet here with all the fighting going on. Seems like an audio bug. They even repaired their castle. Had some foresight. Now look at the push. Trying to take out the castle. And that should be it. But even a visitor. Yep, that castle is falling. So even though we got the same spawns as the game before, it's a very different game. Plays out very differently. So that's always interesting to see how those games turn out. Even with those consistent settings. Now the Spanish with a big lead in points. 1.3k ahead. And they shouldn't have any trouble closing out this game. The Spanish are one of the teams that qualified through the preliminary round together with the Khmer. So it's good to see them winning this game. Maybe their group? I don't know. We have to find out. And this game's over. Congratulations to the Spanish. Took them 16 minutes. That's a good time. That. It went down and they held on a little bit longer, and then the Spanish just closed out the game. Turn to main menu and update our scores. Point for the Spanish. Now next up are the Franks versus Portuguese. We quickly set up the lobby. Franks versus Alright, that's looking good. Possibly the last game of the Group B of the group stage. In Group B of the group. We got the Franks versus Portuguese. Go. And that loaded in very quickly. Almost caught off guard. Marco Polo. Sorry if I sound not as enthusiastic today. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, and always hard if there's no one in chat to talk with or talk anything about, so sorry if this is a little bit awkward today, but we're getting through. We got some good matches today, and now we got some based out bonds. And now we got in red the Franks on the right hand side of the map, and on the top left pretty much we got the Portuguese in cyan or blue. Now it seems like a pretty good castle placement. Oh no, they cancelled and now they don't know where to build it. The Portuguese are trying to prevent them building a castle. And so far it seems like it works, but they're now got a spot down there. Oh, now they got caught. But I feel like that could be enough to get it up. Where is the cat? It's already there, up on the hill. Very good placement for the Portuguese. And the mill is already burning. Oh no. And it's down. At least they got the castle up. Not that big of a disaster. Now they have made some space for themselves. Very aggressive start for the Portuguese, and now even an organ gun. Now it feels like they get pushed back again. Very good first dodge, but now just attack moving into them. Mangonel got some good value out of it. What are those civilizations planning to do? Pretty much even in points. The Portuguese with a slight lead. Now it's crawling up. Where's that coming from? Just when I say that. Oh. I got some good hits in. And right when I say that, 1.2k lead. Wasn't 200 points different just a moment ago. Now look at that. That's gonna be a strong push. Can the Franks hold on? They were another strong team in the first tournament, but looking to struggle quite a bit against the aggression from the Portuguese. Now trying to go for the castle. And it's going down real fast. And they stop it from going down. Doesn't seem like it. 350 HP. And that's done. They open up the base. That's like losing an inhibitor in League of Legends. You open up the map and the base of the enemy. Maybe close out the game. Now the front is wide open. They're knocking on the door. Now this could be the final push already. 13 minutes in. And it seems like this game will be over in a few seconds. Yeah, that's it. The Portuguese took out the Franks. First final game of our Group B. Oh no, it was the final game already. Oops. Got a good lead here, and it went all up the whole game pretty much. Congratulations, Portuguese. Now let's update our final score. Guess what? Now let's take a look at the standings. As you can see, Portuguese won the group with winning all 3 of their games. That's a strong performance, that's for sure. And the Franks moved on with 2 wins, 1 loss against Portuguese. Spanish and Burmese don't make it out of their group. So we already got 4 civilizations making it out of their group. But the Malians, Celts, Portuguese, Franks. Now let's see who will join them. Out of Group C, we got the Teutons, Slavs, Saracens and Huns. So let's set up our next set of matches. It's gonna be the Huns versus Teutons. Not waste any time. Get into the lobby and right into the next game. We got Group C and the decider matches of the group stage. Huns versus Teutons. Go. Alright. Got again close spawns. What's going on today? Got in red the Huns on the left side, and on bottom right side we got the Teutons and cyan. Got a big hill in between the bases, but open space the top side. Gold and stone right in front. And now out who takes it. Now the Huns with the faster castle, castle age. Going for the... Ooh! What is this? Look at that. And the Teutons even push out. That's a bossy move if I've ever seen one. Can they get up this castle? While denying the castle of the Huns. Look at that. Placement is nuts. And they get it up, it seems. Well, that's how you go aggressive. Not many succeed at this strategy. They mostly crumble and it backfires. It's always very risky to build a castle pretty much in the face of the enemy. But they pushed simultaneously. Now this is denied. Let's see what they do with their advantage. And it's looking good so far. The Huns got at least a little tower, but that surely won't be enough Yeah. Losing quite a bit of the economy due to idle time. And the Teutons are already 1k up in points. Taking out the little tower. Pretty much the last line of defense. Ooh. The villagers took out the ram. Interesting. But there's 2 more in there. Taking out the mill. And next up is the archery range. That surely is gonna be game soon. Can they do it in under 10 minutes? Got 1.5 minutes to do so. You gotta push now. Oh, going safe. Going for the houses. Open up the base more. And then go for one strong push. And there's nothing left to defend. Oh, they're still good. Yes, it's going to be under 10 minutes. Congratulations to the Teutons. Very strong and decisive game from them. The Huns, sadly, probably going out in last place. They lost all their matches, I believe. But we have to see after it all plays out. Next up will be the Saracens versus Slavs. After I quickly update our score here. 0-1 Teutons. Still only best of ones, but starting from our round of 16 in the main tournament, so to say, going to be best of threes. Up to a best of 7 in the grand finals. So that screen is going to come in handy or in between the matches and games. But for now, let's focus on today. We got still one more game for Group C. Got the Saracens versus Slavs. Go into the lobby and right into possibly the final game of Group C, Saracens versus Slavs. Right, we are in the game. Marco Polo. And now, on the bottom left corner in red, we got the Saracens. And on the right, inside, we got the Slavs. Music is hyping us up. Let's see how the map layout is. We got big hill up on top, and don't know if that's going to be utilized. A bit forest and mostly open space, and a big hill right in the middle where possibly most of the fighting is gonna play out. Got a defensive castle for the Saracens. You mostly want to go for that. always go, but now we got a forward castle for the Slavs. But look at that, if you don't push out simultaneously, this could get taken out easily. Let's see if they can get it like the Franks did in the game before. But look at that, it's not looking good. And that's why I said it's risky to go for that. The castle of the Saracens is up, and this is gonna be either taken out or just cancelled. And you're at a big disadvantage right from the start. So if you don't execute your cheese probably, you're set up for failure. But now the fundament is still there, and it try to build it up again. Nope, they cancelled. The strategy did not work out for them. You gotta execute perfectly, otherwise this happens. So it's a perfect example. We got the Franks doing it perfectly in the last game and winning pretty hard. Now the Slavs failing miserably, and they're behind. Now we got Mamelukes. But let's not count them out. Slavs have made the biggest upsets and comebacks in the last tournament. They even almost lost their groups, did not make it out, and then went on to the semi-finals. So you never want to count out the Slavs. But it's not looking good, but not much going on for now, and now they push out again. They probably... Now what's that? Okay. Just taking the hits for free. That was strange. Now the Slavs are trying to push. They got the high ground, and the ram is coming. They need to focus down this castle fast, otherwise you lose all your units to it. Now the first ram is there, but getting taken out. The second one is approaching, and even the third one. But the troops are thinning out. But they are holding back. The pikemen are in the faces of the Saracens. Is this a push or not? It doesn't seem like it worked. But they still have the high ground, and with that slight advantage. Now look at that. losing almost all of the front line. Saracens doing a good job focusing the rams, but they can't do much damage to the castle. It's still healthy enough, 3k, but the Slavs don't let up. And that's what I'm talking about. You can't count them out. They were at a pretty big disadvantage right from the start, and they still try to push with all their might. We got the castle down to almost 2k. It seems like it's working. It's not working effectively, but they whittle down, slowly whittle down the castle. If they can get it, they can push much further. But look at the points. The Saracens are getting way higher value because this castle is constantly shooting, taking out troops. But now the rams are in there and it's going down fast. 700 HP, 600, 500, 400, and it's surely gonna be it. And look at the Slavs making a comeback after a disastrous start. These Slavs, man, they surprised us all in the first tournament already. Now doing it again. We got camel riders. Now they have a moment to breathe, to recuperate. Got a monk in there, but it got taken out before it could convert any troops, and now they go for the reinforcements. That's a good strategy. Go for the reinforcements in the back. Push from the front. It's a massive fight. But the Slavs are still going strong in the front line. And slowly crawling back in points too. Now comes the push. Look at that, 5 rams, 6 even. Down here, so many troops. That's gonna be the final push. The Slavs making the comeback. And I said, don't count them out. Impressive, impressive. This town center is falling quickly, and that's gonna be game. Congratulations to the Slavs. They do it again. 20 minutes. 22 minutes, oops. Oh god. And look at that. Pretty even mobile. Dipped down there. Again there, but made a push. The Slavs. Our comeback civilization. Now let's go back to the lobby and update our score. And before we take a look at the standings, a quick break. See you soon. Alright, sorry for the delay. I'm back. So let's take a look at the standings. Updated score for Group C. As you can see, we got the Teutons and the Slavs advancing. Look at that. It really was the deciding match. If the Slavs would have thrown the match, the Saracens would have gone up to second place. But the Slavs, with that comeback, the perseverance, set to advance. Look at that. That's as close as it could get. So congratulations, the Teutons. Easy win. 3 wins all across the board. No problem for them. The Slavs cutting it very close with a very risky strat that backfired, and not many, if any, can come back from that. We definitely probably haven't seen this in this tournament, so impressive. Well, now let's go to our last group of today and the last matches of today. So next up we got Ethiopians versus Burgundians. Go into the lobby. After that we got Koreans versus Incas. What did I say? Ethiopians versus Burgundians, our newcomers. Can they make it out of the group in their first appearance in any tournament? Let's find out. Now, on the top left corner in red, we got the Ethiopians against the Burgundians, and at the bottom right corner. The big open space right in the middle. Really not much going on there. So there's gonna be interesting fights. No clear advantage for either civilization, but it could come down to the castle placement. Let's see how they open up. Got a partly aggressive castle and a defensive one up against their mill. Not much contesting going on. Now they come from the left side, but it seems like both will get up their castle. And yes, so got these two huge structures facing each other. And let's see what they do. It's always hard to push out from these positions. Castle against castle. Take a look at the bases. Not much going on here. The Burgundians a little bit more spaced out. Look at that. Completely quiet in the middle. Just throwing out arrows. Yeah. How's the day, everybody? Will any civilization make a move? Now there's Few knights. Doing some good damage already. Few mangonel shots. And that's an early advantage. Sometimes this is all you need. But in terms of damage, it's still pretty even. Now getting in a few mangonel shots. And that is gonna even out things even more. Yeah. There's not much to commentate over right now. Just shot for shot. But it seems like the castle got repaired a little bit. Well, it's not burning anymore. Now it is. Now it's back to arrows against arrows. Well, that's an exciting game. Hadn't one of those in a long time. Now the sneaky monk taking in a Radic. And they already got one. And now 3. The Ethiopians going for the late game. Setting up nicely. Look at that. Both castles half HP. So what are they doing here right now? Don't know. Not much. Pretty much a stalemate. We're going up to Imperial Age. Who gets there first? And these castles are getting dangerously low. Now we got Cavaliers. And the Ethiopians got up to the Imperial Age first. Researching conscription. Now look at that. All these upgrades are flooding in. It's gotta be a nice advantage. Shortly. If the Burgundians don't follow with going Imperial Age. And now the castle is falling first for the Ethiopians. Fight the age lead. That could be a window for the Burgundians. try to push with all you have until the advantage of going Imperial Age kicks in, or before it. Was this the wrong timing? We already had seen it from the Celts, I believe, that went for the Imperial Age despite losing out, and they won the game afterwards. But now the troops are massing up, fighting back. But this castle is helping a lot. Now getting pushed in again. We got 4 rams trying to get into the base of the Ethiopians. Did they go too early into the Imperial Age? But now they try to come from the side and take out the castle, and they got it. That's huge for not getting completely destroyed. Now they can try to stabilize with their more upgraded troops and not worry about the castle fighting. Man, that's a big fight here. And it seems like the Ethiopians starting to push in or push out. Yeah. They also barely held on. And now they got just a huge advantage in upgrades and units in a late game composition. Now they're onto the town center and it's falling. Congratulations, Ethiopians, taking out our newcomers and Burgundians, showing who's the veteran. And look at that. Pretty even, but then just the Imperial Age, the advantage of going Imperial Age first just showed its strength at the end. Now let's go back to Malawi. Hello. So the Ethiopians winning that. We forgot to update this one on that. Now for the final game, maybe the Koreans versus Incas. Two very strong civilizations. I'm rooting for the Koreans. I like them. I like playing as them, but I'm not a good player, so don't take my word. Alright, going to the lobby. Possibly the last game of today, and for the first 4 groups in the decider matches, the group stage, Koreans versus Incas. Go. Set up our cheats. And now, on the bottom in red, we got Sejong the Great of the Koreans. Oh god, I butchered that hard. And we got Tupac of the Incas inside on the top hand corner. Now, let's see what they do. This match could decide it all, how the groups turn out, and who gets out of the group. Very defensive castle for the Koreans. But look at that, they are coming forward. This is never gonna go up, is it? Never. Yeah. Yeah. Or will it? The Incas going for pure madness. Building a castle right in the face of the Koreans. And it's going up? Is it? And it is going up. And they even deny the castle of the Koreans. This is a disaster. Do they cancel or try to hold on? Now getting distracted here. And there's enemies on their front step. You need to take those out and build your castle at least. Oh man, what a crazy game. It's not looking good for the Koreans, I have to say. I'm trying to ram it down. Now going back up. And they built the castle. Can I get it up? No. What? Let's just see that. It was at 99 HP or percent. And then they just cancelled. Jesus, what is this? That's a disaster. The Koreans are getting completely thrown out of this lobby. Yeah, there's probably no winning that now. With the last second deny of the castle. But let's wait, the castle is whittled down. 1.2k HP. But they have nothing. Just a single ram and a skirmisher. Will it be enough to take out castle? Trying to go for the repair strat, but it did not work. Look how many troops are there. Well, 100 HP. And what What are the Incas doing? And they got a castle. Can they make space? They have a huge disadvantage. Yeah, now the troops are in the base, going for the villages. That is not looking good. A valiant effort to defend that. But it's probably not enough. Distracting with a ram. Now they got a minute to breathe here. The Incas are taking a step back, trying to build up their advantage. Got almost 2,000 points more. And they have actually. So no need to rush anything. Well, they rushed the castle, but now just try to close out the game as safe as possible. Koreans taking a relic, but that probably will. Oh no! We got an eagle warrior taking out the monk and his relic. And snatching it right back. Look at that. Sneaky. The Incas are in complete control of the game. And now even onto the town center. Koreans got stomped. And they weren't looking good this group stage. I don't think they make it out of the group. But we have to see. Let's quickly set up our score. Koreans completely dominated by the Incas. Going for them. And now we got an interesting situation going on. Let me switch to the standings. We got a three-way tie between the Burgundians, Koreans and Ethiopians. But according to the tournament manager here, the Burgundians are set to advance. Maybe it because it calculates in the background who won against whom. But do we need to have tiebreaker matches here? Let me see. I think so. Oh man, I did not expect that. All the other groups were decided pretty evenly. But this group D, so do we need Burgundians versus Koreans? Let's see, Burgundians versus Koreans won that. And Burgundians have also won against Ethiopians. Oh no, they lost this. It was a game before that. So it's tie there, and Koreans, Ethiopians is also Koreans. So it's completely tied between those three. Because the Incas won it all. So we probably have a three-way match to top it all off. A free-for-all. Go into the lobby and see what we can do. Koreans, Incas, and Burgundians. Go up to 3-player map. Yeah. We got a three-way tie. We already had free-for-all matches in the preliminary round. And if it's that close, we now go for the tiebreaker match. That's a special ruling, but we gotta know who will advance between those three. They are completely balanced out in terms of winning against each other. So let's go for another game. One last game to decide it all. For Group D, got the Koreans, Incas, and Burgundians. Let's go. We are in game. Marco Polo. So all of these three will have another chance to make it into the round of 16. Are any of those three civilizations gonna team up and grieve one other civilizations? We got in red, we got the Koreans on the top hand side of the map, and on the bottom right we got the Incas in cyan. Now, funnily enough, in yellow we got the Burgundians. On the left side. So they are pretty spaced out. The Koreans with a defensive castle. The Incas going for one on the hill. And the Burgundians right in the open. To fend off both sides. Now who will make the first move? The Burgundians are pushing in.
준비.
Koreans, or rather the Incas, should be safe from the Koreans for now with their castle placement, but they have to worry about the Incas. Now we got a scout. Yeah. Made it out. Koreans are quiet for now. Koreans are just scouting and let the other two civilizations fight for now. This could be the right move. Just wait and see what the others are doing. Build up your economy and your military strength. Getting in a few hits. Castle. And the Burgundians are all over the place. Going for rams on the top to the Koreans. Pushing out to the Incas. And now the Incas are pushing back, going for the castle. What are the Koreans doing? There's so many rams up here. And this castle is going down fast. What's going down here? And this one is also, it's already burning. Let's see. The Koreans have stabilized for now. And the castle of the Burgundians is going down. So the early aggression did not pay out for now. But they also have shifted the focus away from the Incas and, strangely enough, go for the Koreans. And even down there, the Burgundians are all over this lobby. And this castle is it going to fall? It is falling. That's not good. Now their base is completely open. And even though the Burgundians lost their castle, it was completely out in the open. And they are in control of the map. So it's not as bad as for the Koreans. The Incas still have their castle up on the hill. But look at that! They are losing their town center. So even though they got in theory the strongest position, they are getting taken out by the Burgundians. The Burgundians are cleaning up this lobby. They're fighting basically against 1 versus 2, and they managed to do it. How strong are they? And it seems the Incas have stabilized for now. as well as the Koreans. This is an exciting game to decide who goes into the round of 16 between those three civilizations. In terms of points, the Burgundians are having a comfortable lead. The Incas are lagging behind very much so. And now the Koreans are starting to expand more into the middle of the map and trying to take out the castle of the Incas. The Incas repaired their town center, so they haven't lost it all yet, but it's not looking good in terms of points. Now look at that. Burgundians are pushing in from will the Koreans be taken out? Will be taken out. They focused all their efforts onto this castle, but with only with no siege. You need to defend your base. The town center at half HP. Where is your defense? And they still go for the castle. Yeah, the Koreans are going. They're out? Probably. And they are out. Koreans have completely thrown their game. They had a good position, but they focused on the wrong things. And now the Burgundians can just clean up this lobby. Look at that. The Burgundians basically taking on both civilizations on their own. And they need, they completely deserve to go into the round of 16 after this performance. They have more score, almost more score than both other civilizations combined. How crazy is that? What a game to decide it all. And this is surely gonna be the game. In just a moment. One last hit. And GG. The Burgundians with a monstrous performance. What a game. Look at that. They were completely in control of the game. Koreans had a good position, but then just threw it, went out first. The Incas stabilized, but it wasn't enough to recover. And the Burgundians they were all over the map. They were attacking the Incas and the Koreans simultaneously. And the other civilizations didn't have an answer. That's basically it. So let's go back to our standings. And this can just stay right there. Burgundians set to advance. So just like the program said. But how do I give them 1 point more? maybe I just do that. Burgundians, Koreans, and Burgundians, Incas. Oh no, they won that. Let's just see what this. No, that's not. So let's just go with that. I can easily change that right for that. So Incas, Burgundians. Oh wait! Oh no! I made a big mistake. The Incas weren't supposed to be in the game at all. Oh no! Yeah, that's because I'm I'm just under the weather and completely tired out. But I think we have to have a rematch. That's why there was a tie, because it was against the Ethiopians. Man. So I think what am I doing? Prefer, my headache is killing me right now. So let's go for another game. That was a complete blunder on my part, even though we got an exciting game out of it. We had the wrong civilizations in the lobby. That's completely my mistake. So we need to do a rematch. Koreans, Ethiopians, Burgundians now again for the second place. And the Burgundians do it again. Let's see how it goes. Just get it out of the way. That's completely my bad. I'm sorry for that. For anyone who watches this. But that's a problem if you don't have anyone in chat to correct your mistake. Someone would have spotted that I had the wrong civilizations in the game and completely missed that. Marco Polo. Oh man. So let's go for hopefully one last game. I am dying right here. It's getting worse and worse, but now we got the Koreans on the top. Got Burgundians in the yellow, left side, bottom, right hand side we got, and the Ethiopians. Now spacing isn't as even as before. Those two are closer to each other. And look at that, what is this castle? Yeah, that's gonna be denied. Defensive one. And even a line now. Bad. And another deny down here. And again, the Koreans comfortably just watching on top. It seems that they almost made it work last time, but had a big failure on their part. And again, the Burgundians with their early aggression. Can they repeat their performance of the last game? So far it's working. They're in the lead in terms of points. But now what's that? They completely stopped. What are the Koreans doing? They got a castle up on the hill. Very defensively. That's gonna be hard to break. Another defensive castle of the Ethiopians. So far it's pretty even. Now the Koreans with a lead. So far it's pretty even. But the Ethiopians have to defend from both sides. What is that? There's a wagon on the bottom of the map. All alone. What is this doing there? That's funny, but it's gonna be taken out. Koreans in the lead, but are getting pushed in now. The scores are flicking back and forth between those three civilizations. And now the Burgundians are making their push. Look at all these wood choppers. The Ethiopians have to defend on both sides now, but they got a castle. Yeah, that castle is doing all the work. But now the Burgundians going straight for the town center of the Ethiopians. And it's looking like they just repeat the performance of the last game. So if they can do it twice, just win game free for all against two civilizations, they completely deserve to go into the round of 16. Despite just messing up on my part hugely. And they stopped going for the town center for now. Now go for the Koreans. They probably think they have done enough damage, so the Ethiopians can't come back. And now they want to stop the Koreans getting too far ahead. Ethiopians are repairing their town center. Burgundians comfortably in the lead for now. Look at how much of the map they have. Both the Burgundians as well as the Koreans are in Imperial Age. Now comes another push. I'm not sure why they stopped the last push and now they stop again. Now even the Koreans go for another round against the castle, but they're losing so much value just for this castle because they don't have much siege. That's perfect for the Burgundians. Now taking out, yep, Ethiopians are out. And now it's Burgundians versus the Burgundians. And this castle is in the middle of it all. Now we have multiple fronts of battles. Look at all these wagons. The Koreans, they're neck and neck in points. And the Koreans are starting to push in. And will this be an upset? I'm rooting for the Burgundians because that last performance was completely over the top. Whoops. But look at all these wagons. Koreans are pushing in. They have the lead for now. Let's see if the Burgundians can defend. And we got a trebuchet, 2 trebuchets for the Koreans. They are looking strong. This castle is going down fast. And this push is commencing fast. Had the Koreans done it, there's not much stopping them now, is it? Is there? Look at all these wagons. Now in the base of the Burgundians. And that's gotta be tilting for them after such a strong performance the last game. But I messed it up completely. I had the wrong civilisations in the lobby. The Incas weren't supposed to be there. And they couldn't repeat their performance. But they need to show up when it matters. And the Koreans did. Look at how close it went. Oh, look at it squished the Ethiopians were. Look at that early imperial age. This is all their lead. That has won them the game. Pretty much. So take another quick look at the standings we have. I basically have to do something like that. Oh no. Reset. How can I... This is confusing. This is confusing me so much. Why does it have to be today when I'm completely out of my mind? My headache is killing me. I just want to change. Who goes up there? Well, I need to figure that out some other time. I think I stopped the stream here. The Koreans will move on to the round of 16 together with the Incas. And I need to change that the upcoming days. So let's just get a quick overview of what we have done today. We got Group A decided. Malians and Celts go on, both with 2 wins. And Group B, Portuguese and Franks move on also. After that, Teutons and the Slavs. And Group D, the complete mess. Koreans and Incas will move on after I figure out how to change that. So yeah. I'll end the stream for now. Not my right mind right now. Sorry for that. But yeah, it's been a fun day. We had some good matches. And the next stream will be on Thursday. So hopefully I get better until then. And thanks for watching and see you next time.